You're listening to Brand, the marketing show. With your hosts, Thomas Sterling.
But now's the time. Giddy up and go.
And Veronica St. Cyr.
So on brand, I will take it.
An unfiltered conversation on brand strategy.
That's where the best work happens.
Marketing trends.
They're keeping it relevant.
And emerging technology.
$1 billion. That's when you know you made it.
You're excited.
I'm pumped.
All right, let's kick things off.
What's up, everybody? Today on the show, we're talking AI. In so many ways, one of the greatest achievements of modern civilization, and yet something many people are grappling with. What's their policy on it? Is it cheating? It's a tightrope walk for so many brands trying to understand how they should use this, how they should leverage it, and some brands out there that are scoring some points, and some brands that are already scoring some scorn in the marketplace. What are your thoughts on this, Veronica?
Scoring some scorn. I like that. Many marketers and business leaders right now have this, there's like this booby trap moment of like Indiana Jones where you know there's these treasures and riches if you're just able to adopt it or talk about it effectively. But that path might have a couple booby traps and people are springing them. Some people are getting right to the finish line, scoring the pot of gold, and this is incredible, and other brands want to follow, but it doesn't work for everybody. So today we're talking about two distinct camps of businesses and brands that are outwardly talking about AI usage, the AI powerhouses who embed tech into every customer touch point for a benefit for the end user, speed, profit, talk about it, market it, and the AI rebels who explicitly say, fuck that, and in favor of, thank you, human craft, reject it.
And with that, let's get into it.
It's showtime. Well, I'm back. I feel real good about myself, you know what I mean? So, without further delay.
So, Intuit or Aerie? What's it going to be, Veronica?
Well, I'm going to take Aerie, but Thomas, we find ourselves in one of those episodes where we have some ground rules before we go forward. For a lot of people that live in AI, or depending on maybe just your preconceived notion about it, we have to understand that we exist in the context, right? It's like important. Why is this a conversation? Most of us know a lot of these points, but AI talk all the time is it essentially good or bad? And we're not going to get into like an ethics lecture today, but we do want to talk about two things, which is people and planet, of why there is this reaction to it, this emotional provocation for some people. So planet, global energy scale. So let's talk about this as like a macro liability. The electricity consumption of global data centers is expected to approach over 1,000 terawatt hours by 2026. What does that mean to the average person? This is an amount projected to make data centers the fifth largest global electricity consumer ahead of countries like Japan and Russia in the US based on our consumption. Now, what is the cost of the query, right? This is like a hidden cost. A single ChatGPT query consumes 5 times more electricity than a simple web search. Furthermore, a generative AI training cluster demands 7 to 8 times more energy than a typical computing workload. And physical cost, water and waste. This is one I hear talked a lot about, is that data centers require massive amounts of water. Estimates are suggesting 2 liters of water are needed for every kilowatt hour of energy consumed. This cloud computing footprint has direct physical implications on local water supplies and could impact biodiversity. And then the people side of it, right? The more emotional side, a fear that AI will replace jobs, it will replace people. And we're seeing this new age of Luddites, right? Where these people are rejecting technology. You have Reddit threads with thousands of community members. People are saying, hey, can you give me a list of companies using AI so I can completely avoid buying their products altogether? It is a very emotional conversation that is being had right now.
It is. And I think in so many ways, it's just like the launch of the electric car. It is requiring a ton of electrification and digital transformation in order to allow for all of these things to happen. But people don't want a data center on their block.
Yeah, NIMBY, not in my backyard. And now it's apparently about data centers. Some other news are in the AI backlash world. OpenAI launched their Sora 2 app recently. People could make their own videos. Everything's going video forward, right? Within 2 weeks of it, all of a sudden, anti-Semitic content's popping up. all over the internet. And OpenAI now needs to combat with that. One Adweek reporter said that they're really playing fast and loose with it, which is, again, just something you hear more and more. So this is like we're seeing early adopters lean in. Some people are running from the crowd. Some people are making it across and some are falling down. And all of us are learning from that. And we need to take massive notice of it when we're marketers that are messaging to people. And everyone is aware. Every business is either using it or considering using it.
And it's moving faster than anything else. So it's not like you can just sit with your position or sit on the sidelines. It's something that's transforming right in front of our eyes.
And you're saying your position isn't permanent, Thomas.
It's not. And there's no such thing as assigned seats.
Love it. So why are you taking Intuit?
Intuit is doing something that a lot of SaaS companies are doing. They're talking about AI as a functional component of their product suite. But they're doing something that's unique associated with it. So I think, one, they're using AI as a public value proposition. Okay, a lot of brands are doing that, right? They're putting powered by AI sleekly on the other side of their logo. But they're also actively using it within their own internal tools. So they're actually using AI within their marketing and operations. They're using AI from a brand and content standards and internal voice standpoint. So they have a point of view on how they're leveraging and add into it for it to be a part of the overall marketing machine and system. And they're out there with their point of view on how it fits from a governance standpoint, from a risk standpoint, and in general, from a marketing for trust standpoint. A little background on Intuit. Most of us think about Intuit, we think about QuickBooks. They also are behind TurboTax, Credit Karma, and MailChimp. We don't always think about MailChimp associated with Intuit,
No.
but they're actually shifting their marketing strategy from this house of brands, kind of sitting over here, to this branded house with the tagline, your way to money. And a lot of organizations in SaaS are trying to find ways to get their products to talk to one another, to share resources in this sort of information economy that we find ourselves in. But I think what's fun about that, your way to money, is they're signaling around what that shared value is across the whole platform. What's been interesting about Intuit lately was their decision in 2024 to hire a new CMO, a CMO that formerly worked at Uber, Chobani, Thomas Renese. Over the course of the year, Renese actually went through with leadership and figured out how they may be able to use AI across the entire business, from marketing workflows to customer-facing tools like Intuit Assist, which actually is a generative AI-powered financial assistant for their brands. Let me play a clip of the CEO as he shares his vision on the future of AI.
We believe that every SaaS company, anybody that makes software, is either going to get disrupted or they're going to be the disruptors. And that's because of what's possible with AI. We believe that SaaS players must become the system of intelligence. Based on our declaration of becoming an AI company, we have profoundly changed the growth profile of Intuit. About 10 years ago, we were less than 5 billion in size, growing 8%. Today, we are 4 times that size, nearly 20 billion, growing at double the rate at 16%, with 40% operating margins.
I know you were ready to jump out of your seat when he said the operating margins of 40%.
Yeah, I almost fell out of my seat.
You heard the script here. Get disrupted if you don't embrace AI. And SaaS companies across the board, there's a lot of worried people in Silicon Valley thinking about how their products have evolved. Does SaaS become the middleware that cuts your product completely out of the situation? I love that he said declaration. That's really what it is, right? It's assigning a point of view with regards to where it is. And then it's how you actually show up day in and day out. And I think the reason we're covering them is because they've made steps there.
Yeah. So now we're going to talk about our AI rebel of the day, Aerie. Aerie is a clothing brand, lingerie, swimwear, cozy wear, sleepwear that is owned by American Eagle Outfitters, which, yes, us and the internet have talked about with the Good Jeans Sydney Sweeney ad. Don't worry, we're not going to talk about it today.
I love that you're calling them a rebel.
They're an AI rebel. They kind of are. If you look at what's going on in fashion and a lot of creative being used to make ads especially. So what's interesting about them is their brand for the past 10 years has focused on this hashtag Aerie Real body positivity campaign, where they came out ablazing and said, we are going to vow to stop retouching the models in our campaigns and focus on models that look like real people, real women, especially with a lot of the lingerie products that they have. So this fit with their brand ethics and this idea of inclusivity. Their strategy's always been real first, not authenticity first. I think authenticity is like the new word we should probably just kill in marketing, overused. Leveraging untouched imagery, real models, echoes a realness similar to Dove Beauty, which we've talked about on the show. And recently, they pledged to never use AI-generated or touched-up people in any of their campaigns. And I actually have a clip of the campaign, which they launched a few weeks ago, rejecting AI and sharing this position. It is all text on the screen, so for our audio listeners, I will provide a little bit of voiceover for what you see. So it says, in 2014, we stopped retouching people and bodies, and you're seeing all like real women. Today we commit no AI generated people or bodies, real people only. And it looks like almost like shot on an iPhone style. We believe in real people, real life, always have, always will. You deserve real imagery. We believe transparency isn't a trend. No retouching, no AI, 100% Aerie real. Notably, their CMO, Stacey McCormick, told Adweek, for us, this was a no-brainer. For the past 10 years, this has been in everything we do. She said, we started to get a sense of AI coming into retail and marketing, and as it becomes more prevalent, we wanted to put it out there and hopefully inspire others in the industry along the way.
I love that they're taking an opinion on this. I don't know how long this opinion lasts. I think right now they're scoring brownie points, but it does tie back to a core brand decision that they made, and so it is authentic, the word that you hate, right? But more importantly, what's happening in our AI world right now? How many people are on LinkedIn saying, I'm just going to type a quick little thing, I'll use ChatGPT, boom, look, I'm a thought leader. Or let me generate some piece of content over here using generative AI. Now it's my own artwork, boom. And so there's this whole movement of people fighting the AI slop era that we are in right now. I got to play a clip from our friend John Oliver over at HBO.
AI slop is basically the newest iteration of spam. As the CEO of one AI content detection platform put it, not all AI content is spam, but right now, all spam is AI content. And it's becoming a problem on multiple levels. For a start, websites that were previously useful are now becoming much less so, as this woman makes clear.
Pinterest is becoming unusable, and I just need to talk about it. This is me just searching garden, and almost everything is AI generated. Like, what is that cat? I keep scrolling, and like, you literally click on anything, and it's like, this is so obviously AI.
I know she might seem calm there, but for a Pinterest user, that is white-hot rage.
Which is so true, and I've talked to hairstylists about this, where like you used to bring in a photo of a celebrity and be like, hey, like here's what I want my hair to look like, and you know it's a real person's hair, and now it's like you're showing someone something that is unattainable, like the hairline isn't in the right spot. Like it's so incredibly frustrating. And on an app like that is all about image sharing, to not have AI content detection in place is fucking bananas.
Intuit, in a lot of ways, is winning some favor here because customers trust utilizing AI for things like calculating taxes or optimizing a media spend far more than designing a runway look, right? So there's certain applications. Yeah. If it's a calculator, a glorified calculator, I think the human is happy to have it in play. But if it's coming at the cost of another creator or somebody else that's utilizing it, then that's a real problem. And I think people are not necessarily excited about buying if that's your strategy.
So if we had to talk about any other brands.
Yeah, I guess first one would be Unsplash. I just talked for a second about this concept of going on and looking for stock photography, real photography that you want to utilize in your creative process. Unsplash has come out and been one of the few stock providers to actually ban AI-generated content from the library. I think a filter would be fine, but again, they're taking a point of view, which I love. Klarna, on the other hand, is a FinTech customer service product. So they've actually implemented, they were one of the first people to roll out a ChatGPT plugin. They've rolled it out and actually utilized it in the customer service process. So actually taking out some human service agents, or at least cutting down the need there.
Which I'm laughing because I'm one of the people that just all caps talk to a person.
Person, please. 1-0-0-0-0. They've made it so 2/3 of their customer service calls go through agents. And okay, some people that are listening are like, oh God, come on. Okay, but what's the outcome? Customers have received the results that they needed in 2 minutes versus 11. I don't know if that means in 2 minutes people hang up though. They're like, it's Veronica. She's like, fuck this place. I am done. End call.
So thinking about some other brands that have sprung a booby trap, I hate to say it, but one of them was Burton Snowboards. Burton faced significant community backlash for using AI art on only one of the most popular board models. They're custom. They had like a glow-in-the-dark board. It was one variation, and they were like, we're exploring it. And people were like, we don't give a shit. We hate it. To the point now where in the snowboarding community, which I'm a part of, anytime someone posts a photo of a new deck this year, all of the comments are like, this looks kind of like AI art. Is this AI? Can we prove it's not AI? People, again, want to call it out. They think it's slop. They think it's a slap in the face to the artists. It's like snowboarding, especially as a community where there is this craft and this like counterculture sustainability angle. So it does not work for that audience. Duolingo is another one we should talk about. They are a company that came out really fast as being AI first. Made sense. You're learning to speak Spanish for a vacation you're taking, and you want to be able to order your drink and not sound like an idiot. So like you're going to use Duolingo. Wow, it's going to like use AI to help me sound smarter by like responding to the things I'm failing at. Cool. However, when they announced that they were leaning into AI powered technology, they also said, and we're going to cut a bunch of contract staff that we work with, which did so much damage to a brand that's been touted as this beloved brand that they've built. Just showing you that the messaging around AI can prove to be a greater liability than the technology itself.
If it's back office, it's okay. And if it's art, people want art created by a human unless they have to pay for it.
And now for something completely different.
So if you had to put this to work, first would be take a look in the mirror. Look at your coworkers. Look at your senior team. How are we utilizing AI? Are we using it in the browser? Are we just having conversations with our friend ChatGPT? That should really impact how hard you're going to go into AI, because customers can sniff out if there's BS. Second would be map AI to your brand why. So if you have a situation where you already are committed to something and AI can tie into that and support that, then that's great. If you don't, then you need to spend some more time really thinking. If it's for utility, great. If it's going to tie into some emotional value prop, well, that's troubled waters. Third would be figure out what your customer-facing and internal AI litmus test needs to be. How are you going to benchmark this? How are you going to ensure that there isn't going to be backlash? Next, make sure you label any use of AI if you're in a high trust category, because it could actually do a lot more harm than good. And last is audit the cost of convenience. Don't just roll this out and feel really good about your AI initiative. Think about the hidden costs. Think about what it means to your value in the marketplace. Think about what it means in terms of eroding or building trust.
Amen.
Have some more sloppy Joes. I know how you kids like them sloppy.
Lady, you're scaring us.
So if you had to take anything away from the show today, Veronica,
I would say the modern marketer's job isn't building AI to just be a steward of slop. It's conducting a strategic calculus to determine if the technology is better positioned as an internal rocket booster or an external social statement.
wow. I just am picturing that person that is just a steward of the slop.
Slop it up.
Just slopping it in.
Just slopping it in.
Just slopping it in.
Slop it in.
Well, mine would be in a market where customers expect perfection from SaaS, but authenticity from retail. The biggest mistake a brand can make is using the wrong AI playbook. And with that, we're out, folks.
Hey everybody, Veronica here. Wow, you made it to the end of the episode. That's awesome. That means we can probably infer that you liked our insights. And if you're struggling trying to figure out how to wade into these uncharted waters and figure out how to message your brand effectively to your audience with everything changing, AI, consumer behavior, and you want a partner that might be able to help you, we might know the guys. What is... Oh, wow, look at that. A sterling breakup kit. If you feel like you're in a position where you might need to break up with your underperforming agency and hang out with some agency folks that might be able to help you, you can get your very own breakup kit. You can go to sterlingbrandworks.com and use code BRAND2BRAND for 5% off your order. I'm just kidding. It's free. Just fill out a contact form on our website and we'll start a conversation. Thanks so much for listening.
That's it for Brand to Brand. Stay tuned for more. And if you like what you heard, give us a follow. We're out of here.